2 days ago, I married my husband. During the ceremony, he looked at me with warmth and devotion. I truly believed we were meant to be. But halfway through the reception, I noticed my best friend and him were nowhere to be found. I assumed they had stepped out for a smoke break, but an uneasy feeling nudged me to check. As I passed the disabled restroom, an odd, high-pitched sound hit my ears. Something like a dying animal. I knocked, asking if everything was okay. "Be quiet," my husband's voice responded. At that moment, I knew. I began pounding on the door. The door creaked open, and out stumbled my husband and best friend. Their clothes disheveled, faces flushed with guilt. In that split second, it was clear. To give some background, my best friend had a reputation for being easy, but I never imagined she'd cross that line with my own husband. I had always thought my husband was one of the gentlest souls I knew. This betrayal shattered everything. They apologized frantically as I stormed off, but I didn't stop. I hopped into a taxi, left for the hotel, and have been a mess ever since. This isn't a plea for advice. I just needed to vent before I completely lose it. For some extra context, I had been friends with my ex-best friend since we were 11, inseparable for over a decade. She was the one who introduced me to my husband when I was 20, and he was 22. At first, she seemed incredibly supportive of our relationship, right up until the wedding day. I had absolutely no clue they had been sneaking around behind my back. My ex often traveled for work, sometimes disappearing for days. I trusted him, believing he was just busy. Turns out most of those trips were just excuses to sleep with my best friend. Some of you might wonder why I didn't cause a scene at the wedding. The truth? I didn't care about making a statement. I just needed to get away. When guests asked why I left so suddenly, I simply said I wasn't feeling well and apologized for the abrupt exit. As for those two, I blocked them both, but not before telling my ex that I was annulling the marriage and that they were free to enjoy their pathetic little romance. You know what they say. Once a cheater, always a cheater. Right now, I'm still at the hotel, unable to face the house we once shared.